Good morning. It's day 7 of my fortuitous fracture of my right femur and surgical repair, also known as an open reduction internal fixation. And I'm sitting in the activity room, which is a very lovely room, early in the morning, and getting a little thoughts collected so I don't forget them. Narcotics and I are not a good fit. Even on a day without narcotics, I have some challenges, but even more so with it. So I'm about probably moving towards 30 hours without narcotics in my system and using ibuprofen and Tylenol for pain, which seems to be doing really well. It took me about 20 minutes to set up this phone, or this camera setup, and because I'm new to all this technology and also my cognitive impairments. And so anyway, as an occupational therapist of 38 years, I'm trying to reflect on what's occurring so I can offer some thoughts. And some of the things that happened for me this morning that I just recall are, there's got to be a better way to stabilize products that people use to be more independent, safe, productive, efficient, and rely less on other people. And more, so for example, that would be dressing sticks and reachers. So here's a reacher, here's the reacher end, here's the tip, and it's a great device, and you can kind of stabilize it in your wheelchair if there's enough room to put it on your side. But then once you get back in your room, there's always this dilemma about, okay, where I'm going to keep it so it doesn't slip off the bed, and then you can't use it to pick things up, like your call light. And so I was thinking metallic, like putting magnets on here, and then magnets on surfaces that you deem together with another person, that would be places that would be useful for you and your abilities, because my upper extremity movement is really good compared to a lot of folks that are here. Not that I'm like strong, but my range is good. And when people say, well, just get your X, and you say, well, I can't even reach the X, and they're looking at you like you've got 3 heads and you're being sassy. It's possibly with some of us because we really don't have the ability to reach it, or it's because it's been stored in a location that's convenient for the care partner, or the visitor who was there didn't realize that if they put it over on another table that it's going to make it totally non-functional for you. So. And I'm going to go to breakfast in a little bit with my compadres over in the communal dining area, and I'm going to see if it's a riot in there today. We had a bit of fun yesterday because it was a fluke event where lots of people came at the same time, and with lots of people in wheelchairs, many of whom can't hear well, see well, and have poor fine motor skills. They don't know why things aren't occurring, and if people don't make an effort to communicate with them in the way that works for them, that gets to be a bit of a I don't know, it could be enhanced, you know. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's funny to me how little 90-year-old gals who look like they got a little bit going on cognitively will just wheel themselves right in front of everybody else and cut the line to go to a meal. Because you have to, you know, the routine here is you can have your meal in your room, or you can go to the dining room, and if the dining room's full, they ask you to wait outside in line, which makes sense because that's functionally how it works best. But you have to wait in line and get your ticket before you go in when it's too full, so they can make sure enough people are out before you go in. And some of those gals that'll kind of scoot right around that whole process, it's a hoot and a holler. I also listened to the first time today to my Pray As You Go uh, meditation from my not Oxford, but my United Kingdom Catholic brothers. They do a wonderful Pray As You Go podcast that I would highly recommend to anybody. And I was feeling really perky compared to 7 days ago after I fell, because the first 3 days I really was very bad, had no hope, was fainting every time I stood up. And yesterday was starting to feel pretty good, like we're perking along. And then the humility of the whole process is, okay, well, don't get too cocky, because, as I tend to learn from the PH program in Hard Knocks, infection can be an issue. And so there could be a little issue that we have to look into to determine whether I have a potential for infection that needs to be more closely monitored. It's a pretty big wound, suture line, and a variety of areas that were surgically used. And it's not, I don't think it's anybody's fault, but infections are common in things that are done well. So I'm, that was sort of like I don't like that, that's not fun. Come on, I was like skating on great ice. Oh, I don't want to skate. I'm never skating. I can tell you that right now. There's the red light activities, the green light activities, and the yellow light activities. Ice skating, red light. Zumba. It's not in my immediate future, but it will be again. And I'm just looking forward to a little more relaxation before we hit PT tomorrow, and maybe and OT, and maybe I can get some more ideas on how to be fit and have good stuff. So thanks for listening, and it's day 7 of my fortuitous fracture.